Okay, so I know it's been a while since I've played or posted anything, but I've been actually going through. I've been playing a lot on Vassal, doing a couple different games. I also am in the process of learning ATS, Advanced Toolwork System. Really interested. I played one very small scenario, kind of like a starter. Realized I didn't really want to use the starter rules for that. Just wasn't. I don't know. It just wasn't deep enough to use initial rules. And honestly, the if you just use an infantry, light mortars, and a few machine guns, the rules aren't so bad when it comes to different ideas and different things going on. So that's been on. I'm in the middle of a battle with the Great Battles of the American Civil War with a buddy from the Advanced After Combat Guild. So I've learned that system pretty well. I unfortunately did not get to OCS this summer. School starts back up in 2 weeks, and I really didn't get to it. The one system that I'm really looking at, which seems small enough and simple enough, is let's see here. It's the BCS system, Baptism by Fire. I'm going through the rules right now. So far, I like it. Seems it's pretty simple, a little different. But OCS is still on the books to get done. But I've had this one for a while. Actually, this is the second edition, so I've had it since GMT re-released it, or released the printing of it. And honestly, I've been wanting to play it for a while. I do love the coin system. It was one of the first games that I really enjoyed. One of the first. I don't know. I'm gonna get hacked for this, but some people don't consider them war games. But hey, it's a conflict. It's war, but it also has economic issues. It also has political issues. Just a lot of fun. I'm currently playing this like one-handed, or actually four-handed. I'm not playing against the bots. I want to see how each of the systems go. I do have every single coin game out except Falling Sky, and didn't know if I really wanted that one. But now after watching it played a couple times, I really want it. It's out of print, so I'm trying not to get too guilty and play or buy it when it's really kind of I don't want to overpay for it. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe someday I'll have a copy of it that's somebody's got it that's not too expensive. And I've got all the other ones on pre-ordered. I just got Colonial Twilight. I went to set it up, and if you guys don't notice, there's issues with the cards. I could have just kind of rewrote on that card, made that card what it was. Honestly, I paid for a full game. I don't want to have to do anything. They're sending out new cards once they get it printed. I've got enough to play on the pile that I can push that back for a little while. I do have a copy of Andean Abyss for the coin series that I really want to get into. I've played Fire in a Lake. Actually, that's the one I cut my teeth on. Really enjoyed that one. Then I got Liberty to Death and loved that one. I love that system. Although as much as it's listed as 4-player, and there are 4 factions. I really think it's more of a 2-player with each side getting 2 factions. And that's kind of the way I'd want to play it. I just want to see how it works with 2 players. So I'm really looking for somebody to really do that as a 2-player. We'll see how that goes. But this one right here is interesting so far. There is a documentary series on Netflix called Cuba Libre, same as the game, and it's about the Cuban insurrection and takeover. And it goes a little bit more into the history of Cuba itself, as well as kind of some of the more modern day stuff as well. But it really most of the episodes focus on Castro gaining control and moving up. So it really got me really like I wanted to play it anyways. Now I really want to play this. It's just one of those things that we'll have to see how it goes. Why don't I play a turn or two or a couple cards here on on camera and see how things go. I'm still learning on this. This is really a learning game. So I'm still learning on how to do things, but I really do like the system. Once you play one of the games, the general mechanics are good there. You get the idea of who goes and what, and the resources and whose turn and eligible factions, things like that. So it's real easy to get going on it. And just to see how things go. So it's just learning how each faction work. This one, it's really, there's rallying, there's marching, there's attacking, there's terror, infiltrate. It's more of the special activities that are different. If you go to most of the coin games, a lot of them are very similar with the operations: rallying, marching, attack, terror, for the insurgents, and then rally, march, attack, terror. There's of course the government has a sweep action. In this case, there's a garrison and the assault, but it's more really the special activities that are different. One of the big difference for like the syndicate, which is the mob, which they had their hands all over Cuba at this point in time. When you have to construct casinos, or when you construct them, if they're already closed, they need to be opened. So just to kind of give you real quick, I just built the end of the last turn. It was the government's turn, and then the syndicate's turn. There we go. That goes there. Okay. So with that, I have to. I'll show you here. So the syndicate just finished. I had constructed these 3 casinos. So this one, and this one are all were all open. It's part of the setup. I had built this one because to build them, you have to have government or syndicate control. So either government or syndicate control. Specifically, it says any cities or province that are either government or syndicate controlled cost 5 resources per phase selected, never free. In each selected place, either place a closed casino or open a closed casino. So a closed casino is flipped over. An open casino has the little coins on them. So what I did was I built one here in Las Vegas with Santa Clara, government controlled. So I built that one and used up 5 resources. Kind of lucked out. The card that this came off of was the Elche, which is an insurgent capability. The first group of guerrillas to move on the 26th of July march. Operations flip underground. Because when you march into a new one, you flip them over. You flip them, they're not hidden anymore. Well, luckily, the 26th for the government and for kind of all the rest of them, the government for these, he was ineligible, so it automatically went to the government. And honestly, this isn't going to help anybody but the 26th July. So the 26th July took care of that. And what I think is interesting is they don't have Castro on here. This is Elche. And one thing I absolutely love about this is the history of the game. So this LT card was number 13. Despite Guerrero's failure as a leader of the later insurgencies in the Congo and Bolivia, his talents for inspiring leadership during the Cuban Revolution cannot be questioned. He was a fearless soldier, talented technician, and outstanding instructor who turned often illiterate recruits into hardened guerrillas. It is what it is. So I a lot of the history I learned from that series. So let's go ahead and play a turn here. So now the 26th July and the Directorio forces, or Directorio is eligible. The new active card is card number 32, Resentia Sevilla. And so looks like the Directorial have it. So Urban movement backs Castro. In a city, replace all direct police with July 26 part. Well, that's not going to happen. Movement splits with Castro. In a city, replace all 26 July pieces with directorial counterparts. There's actually only one city that actually has any July 26 July pieces, and that's Santiago de Cuba. So that's card 32. So the next card coming up, which looks like it was also really a big one when it comes to the 26th July and directorial forces. So this means the syndicate will go first. So we'll look at that in a minute. So that's not the card in play. The card in play is the Resista Civitas. So 26th of July card, or number 32. Card number 32 is, here it is. El Movimiento de Resistencia Civil, pardon, I don't speak Spanish, nor can pronounce Spanish words very well, was an important group opposing Bautista. Particularly in Havana, its support for the rural insurgents wavered over the course of the war, but its goals were more in line with the moderate directorial. So, if you want to pause it so you can, so if you want to pause it so you can read it, you can do that. So, okay. So, key thing is there's only one. So I really don't want to, the goal for it kind of works out for the directorial forces is you have the population plus bases. There's no bases out here. And I've got two population oriente. And that's, if I do this card, it'll only give me one other ones. While I want to make sure as a directorial forces, and I know I'm butchering that, I don't want to give that event to the 26th July, because then I'd lose my Camagüey. I'd lose a lot of pieces. So because we play in a city. There's one up here in Havana. Up there, Havana's up there. There's one piece up there, but I really don't think I want to really deal with it too much on that. So what I'm thinking is I want to keep, so either way it's 101. I don't think it's strong enough to use that because you only get that event. So, and I don't know if the 26th of July wants somebody up there, so I don't know. So I want to really block that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put first faction operations only. It's not a limited op, so that means I can do it several times. And I want to get the directorial forces up. I need to get control of some places. So what I'm going to do, and we're going to go over here, and we're going to rally in this. So any neutral or passive province or city. Okay, so any neutral, so the neutral is right here, so it's passive or passive. Cities, province or cities. One per place. Place one guerrilla or replace two with a base. Well, I need to build up some guerrillas here. He's only got 5 resources, so think Camagüey, Oriente. Let's make it any neutral or passive provinces in a city. See, I'm thinking up here in Matanzas. Thinking about up here because it's passive. Nobody's there. I can get control of that if I put anything in there right now, because it's not controlled. So I think I'll do that. So we'll put one there. So we'll move my resources 1, 2, 3. So that gives me 2. So then the process is you place 1, and now, and we place 1. So now this one is uncontrolled because there's not more forces than either one combined. So it's right now it's 3 to 3. So that's good. Okay. So now what we're going to do, so now in this case I got to take the 26th July, and they are opposition plus bases is greater than 15. So opposition plus bases right now is on 4. So I need to get some pieces in. So again, I think I'll rally province or cities without support. So without support. So basically, I can't do anything. Can't do anything up here because that's support, that's support, that's support. That's really it. So I can do more. So I think historically what I want to do, I kind of want to follow some of the history on this. Because it's nice to have this here. I've already got one over here in Santiago de Cuba. So I think what I'm going to do, and I can choose one. I can place 1 Regilla or place 2. Oh, I might do it in Sierra Maestra. So we place 1 gorilla or replace 2 with a base. If the base instead either place gorillas up to twice the population plus twice the bases, or flip all gorillas on the ground. Okay, so basically twice the population, so 2, twice the bases. Is that right? Yeah. If base instead either place a gorillas up to twice the place. Okay, so I can either place gorillas up to twice the population, so population 1, so that's 2, plus twice the bases, so that's 1 base, so that'd be 2, so that's 4. That sounds good to me. We're going to take that and we're going to put 4 in there. And that's the limited op, and it's one resource, so we lose 1 resource, they're up to down to 14. So, okay. So, at that point, we move those ineligible, we move the ineligible ones eligible. So just kind of an update of what I'm doing. I plan on doing some of the baptism by fire once I get this game done. I just started this yesterday, so we'll see how it goes. It's kind of working. It's kind of a work in progress and things like that. With school starting, hey, who knows? I may actually have more time with school starting than with not, because the kids would be going to bed earlier. Things just happen and goes through. Things picking up. I thought I was going to get a lot more game playing done during the summer. I didn't. Did a lot of traveling. Played some other games, not particularly war games or anything, but I played a couple different ones that I really enjoyed. I got one for my birthday that was called Unfair, which is really cool. It's a game about building basically an amusement park, and you have to deal with stuff that happens either just by events or by the person that you're playing against can kind of mess with you a lot or a little. So I may go on as this game goes on and see how things go. Any questions, comments, concerns? As I hear the Grognard say, please put them in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys want me to put more on, I'll gladly do it. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.